Welcome to another episode of Angels, Positivity and Love. Amazing guests the world over, incredible backgrounds, usually a very unique personal life journey. Sometimes it's a healing journey, loss. But along the way, they've picked up gifts or they've developed a certain career where, again, they're helping others. We've got doctors, professors, near-death experience folks, healers, many other categories. I think international ballerina, a Miss USA, it goes on and on and on. Very unique folks who are very kind to come on and share their background, their earned wisdom with us. And often there's a lot of humor, and some of the guests take steps on the show as well with angels, or at least smell some sage smoke at the end. Today, incredible trio from Minnesota, three siblings who are pretty well known in their own right. We've got Echo Bodine, Nikki Bodine, Michael Bodine. And it's just add.com to the end of those names for each of their particular websites. They're all very gifted, a little bit separate though in what they do for their offerings for people. They've also been doing this a super long time. I'd like to welcome the Bodines on the show on Angels, Positivity and Love. Thank you very much. Nikki, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you. Yes. Nice to be here.
Echo, great to see you again. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you, Michael. Gotta quiet my phone. There we go.
And Michael, thanks for being on the show. Really appreciate you being here.
Michael, thank you for asking me. Yeah, it's nice to be here.
And just for the audience, you can check out, Echo's already been on the show, episode 43, last year, November 12th of 2023. Nikki was this year, I think it was St. Paddy's Day, Sunday, March 17th, 2024. Check out those episodes. If we're lucky, we might be having Michael back in 2025. He'll let us know. Let's get right to it, though. Who would like to go first, tackling how they first knew they were intuitive, or how has it all changed decades later? What have you enjoyed lately in the last 5, 3, 2 years or so in either your skills evolving or what you've noticed with some of the clients or the people out there that you're helping? Has anything changed over time? Have people opened up more? Are they more willing to get help, but also maybe do some of their own learning? And who would like to volunteer for either talking about how they first picked up their gifts, or has there been any sea change at all in your length of time helping folks that you've noticed lately with kind of mankind, so to speak? I need a volunteer.
Well, I was told what these things were, because when I was a kid, I just assumed everybody had the same thing, seeing colors around people and just kind of having a sense of what was going to happen and kind of having a sense of what people were thinking and feeling. I just assumed everybody was like that, except our teachers, because of all the stuff that we were going through. There's the one that actually told us, or told me, that was a psychic thing. It's a real natural thing, and I didn't think it wasn't like the gates of heaven opened up and somebody said you're a psychic and you're this, or it wasn't anything special. It was just like a natural thing. You had a feeling about something, or you saw colors around somebody, and I thought just everybody else did, until somebody pointed out that maybe that's not the case.
Michael, have you had anything?
Just because, we had, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead, hon.
I think that as a family, we experienced a whole bunch of things that were really weird, that caught our attention, that caught my mother's attention enough to want to, find out about all this stuff. But prior to that, we were a pretty normal family. We were just your average Joe family. And then all this stuff started happening, and then we had to figure out. Yeah.
Sort of.
And then, sort of, yeah. And yeah, it was a natural thing, but it got weirder as we went along. Things got dramatically more, I don't know what would be the word.
Haunting.
Haunting, yeah. It was very haunting. Intense.
Yeah,
it's very intense.
Confusing. Yeah.
Scary as hell.
Scary. Yeah. Scary.
Yeah.
And Echo, what was that about with the and Echo, let me just put your book up, one of your many books.
Thank you.
a still small voice. Was that just because everybody was opening up more, or there had boundaries? Was it a boundaries thing? And later you were setting better boundaries. Do you have a way that you look back at that, or was it more of a learning curve for everybody?
Mm. Mm. Uh, when I look back at all of that, oh God, what was it? I think part of the problem, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is I feel bad for our mom because we were all so sensitive in our own psychic way. And she had to deal with all of us. Oh God, I don't know. And her own psychic abilities were developing. So, Michael, it was like a mismatch of events constantly. And
Yeah. Well, sis, I mean, there was, everybody was that was back in the 60s, and everybody, drugs were a big deal and drinking was a big deal. And you had
Yeah.
your dark spirits and your light spirits and
Yeah.
all the stuff was happening and things were flying around and there was ghosts everywhere and your friends would see them. And it
Yeah.
was like, we didn't know and even the people that were teaching us were like trying to figure it out. They didn't have any definite answers. We were playing with Ouija boards, for God's sake. We didn't, we didn't know until we knew. And
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
and mom was just like, she loved it. How she loved
Yeah,
to
she
watch
did.
tornadoes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was like a big tornado all the time for her. She just loved everything about
Yeah,
it.
she
And
did. She did.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
hard to figure out. It was hard to sort out, or what our gifts were, what we wanted to do, or even if we wanted to do it. None of us really wanted to do it. You didn't really want to do it. I certainly didn't. Nikki
No.
was too high to want to do it. So,
Oh,
Nikki,
it was just a different time.
Nikki, can we have you describe everybody's gifts that are here on the show? Obviously, I mean, I believe Michael said he doesn't like to do dead people at all. It's more looking forward in the future for life, career, and so on, love. But can you describe each of your siblings' skill sets?
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Be
my-
nice, sis.
yeah,
oh,
be
you-
nice. Come
goodness.
on, be nice.
Yeah, no, Echo and Michael got these gifts like 70 years ago, and I just got
70? Very
20 years ago. Michael is a future psychic. My sister
That's
is
me.
everything, a medium and a psychic, and I am too now, actually, a medium and a psychic. So we all do it differently. I think we've done readings kind of, we give the same messages in different ways, but it's the same gifts. But Michael and Echo are stronger in theirs. They've been doing it a long time, and I don't know, it's just that
Well,
way.
you like to bill yourself as just as good as I am, but half the price.
Yeah.
Nikki,
Yes.
let's put it this way. If somebody wanted to make sure they had a session with each of the Bodines, what's the order you would tell the person to go in?
I would tell him to go to Michael for future stuff, and then my sister Echo for like past life and future and now. Overall, go to Echo if you want a whole bunch of different things. Go to Michael if you want your future.
And Michael's also business. He's really good with
Oh,
business.
the business.
Well, because
Yeah.
it's so black and white, you don't have to deal with all this emotional stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And Michael, have you found business people to be pretty actually like with it? They just are transactional.
It's just they don't get into the whole kumbaya stuff of it, but they're very intuitive and they have a sense of things, and they need the affirmation. So it's really they think fast on their feet. They trust the intuition part because it gives them an edge up, and it doesn't come with all this different baggage. It's like either you do this or you do that, and so that's why I like it. It's not the deepest thing in the world, but it shows you can see instant results, and that kind of helps me just feel better about what I do when I see that it's actually working.
They know what they want and they can appreciate listening, and they've got the patience for it, and so on. Echo, can we have you chat about, you've started a school in which you help people develop their intuition and more. Can you talk to us about what you've been seeing that's either been trying your patience or that you're like, no, it's pretty amazing. There's more and more people who are even opening up faster these days. Which is it, or is it a little bit of both?
Hmm, there's always one in each class that kind of makes me crazy. Because they're all over the place. Just they can't focus. They have a million questions. They think they're the only one in the class, and so they take over the class. They just keep talking and talking. It's like, oh my God. And then the rest of them are there. They're very interested in what's going on, trying to understand themselves, why they're having these strange or maybe different experiences. And so I teach intuition classes and I teach psychic development classes. And you know, it's fun to watch people go through the different stages with their development. A big stage is fear. And a lot of people, when they start to see what they can do, it scares them a lot. And so they stop coming to class. And then maybe 3 or 4 years later, they show up and say, okay, I'm ready now. That happens a lot.
Since you've been doing classes for like 50 years, for God's sake, I don't even know how you do it. I wouldn't have the patience.
Honey, my first class was in 1980. That was that was 44
That's
years ago.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Echo was 2.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's
It
exactly
was
right.
too.
That's right.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
now it's changed a lot, because back then, if people went to a psychic development class, they usually told their husband they were going to bingo or
Yeah.
volunteer at the YMCA. Nobody told their spouse what they were really doing. And now a lot of them, their spouses come with them, or, they bring their kids to psychic development class. I've had a lot of grandparents take classes because they have gifted grandchildren and their own children don't want to deal with it. So the grandparents come and take the classes so they can help their grandkids.
Interesting. Hey, this question's going to go to each of you in turn, but Nikki first. Nikki, can you go big picture for us about the universe, how big it is? Is it sparkly? Is love the fabric of the universe? Can you tie it back to the concept of like compassion, gentleness, and love?
Oh my God.
Only an eternal question. Don't worry about it. We've only been wondering this for thousands of years.
God.
Well, I've been reading a lot lately about love, and I think the universe is love. And I think more people, including me, have to realize that it's about love and unconditional love, but we're all so conditioned. And so lately for me, it's more about love, which is hard to do in this world. I get pissed off every day at this world because it's changed so much. And so I think love is the big picture, really, and patience and kindness, all that good stuff, which we're all working on.
Great. Michael, Mother Teresa once said, if you judge, someone, you have no time to love them. Can you talk to us about patience, love, the sparkliness, the Disney CGI effects that are supposed to be happening for all of us, but then a little thinking gets in the way? What have you appreciated over all these decades of helping folks, your own journey, and how you've opened up? What have you got for us?
I can't wait.
Okay, so I think that I think that darkness actually rules this world. I think that darkness is in everything, and
Okay.
I think that it's our job to fight that darkness. It's our job to overcome the insecurities and the fears and the angers and all that kind of stuff. I think it's our job to tap into the light and the crystals and the love, and it's hard. And I think a lot of times people lose because they give into their insecurities and they give into their fears, and I think the darkness rules. I think it's the most powerful thing that runs around, but we can tap into that light. That's the thing that I've liked the most about this whole thing, is knowing that there's this light that you can tap into. And it's hard because you got to let go of some friends, you got to let go of some beliefs, you got to let go of some big things. If you trust that, if you trust your intuition and trust God, it's a whole different lifestyle. But I think this place is set up so that you learn how to either trust God or die just bitter, just bummed and pissed out, or just, in a bad spot. Or you go the other way with the light, and it takes some, it doesn't come easy. The dark stuff comes easy. The dark stuff is always tempting you, saying, oh no, you don't want to do that. You can't do that. You'll make a fool out of yourself. You'll look stupid. Don't do that. You look fat. All those kind of things. And it's really subtle, and it's really just quiet. But the light is the thing that's saying, yeah, you can do it. Have some faith, have some trust. And that's the hard part. But when people do it, you can see the results. You can see that they have this belief, they have this knowing. And for me, it's like porn. Watching somebody actually believe in themselves and see that they can do it. And it actually, that's exciting. That's like psychically just like, wow. I love that. And those are the people that I like to talk to. Like I get a lot of requests for readings, and I can tell right away when the person's calling whether they're going to do stuff or they're not. And most people aren't, like they're not. So I just don't call them back. But those people that are going to do stuff, it gives you a rush, because you know that they're going to fight the darkness. They're going to win. And that's what the whole thing for me is, fighting that darkness and just winning. That sounds terrible, but that's what's exciting for me, is to watch how people overcome the darkness that is all over the place and win. And not many people do, but even Mother Teresa was kind of iffy, she had some issues, but
Michael.
she was. Well, she was. She had that whole
Well,
religious thing. If you didn't
she's-
believe the way.
Yeah, she's reconciled on the other side, so you don't get to be on.
Yeah,
the
well,
other
let's
side
hope
doing
she
the love
has.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. But yeah,
oh yeah, we all have our battles to fight, that's for sure.
Echo. We're
yeah.
gonna
But it's fun to watch it happen, though.
It is.
Echo, we're going to go big picture with you on the same question, but I'm going to give you one quote first and juxtapose this quote to anytime anybody turns on the news, talks politics, or all the other things dividing societies all over the globe today. Thinking versus love down in the heart, or details in love. Sometimes the person next to you or a stranger just needs validation via love and compassion. A smile changes any moment, so too does laughter or a few kind words. Be compassionate to all, do it. Angel said that once, and then you can turn on the news and be like, but wait, that person's a jerk. I reject that. I'm on this side. No way, Jose, for that side. There's a lot of divisiveness going on. Can you talk to us about the big picture in the universe? What's it all about, Alfie?
Oh boy.
Come on, sis.
All right. Let me pull myself together here. God, what is it all about? Oh my gosh. I think what Michael just said, I hate the word darkness, but there's a lot of conflict on this planet. But this is where we come to grow. And we have the choice of either growing and continuing to see things from a higher perspective, or we can stay stuck down in that just kind of that defeatist attitude and play the victim for our whole life. So we have two choices always. We can learn how to look at everything from a higher perspective, not make any judgments, just, okay, why might that have happened? Okay, what are people getting out of that experience? What are we getting out of experiences when we watch people go through the BS that they have to go through? I mean, the wars right now, it's like, oh my God, what do you people have to learn? And they're stuck in hatred, they're stuck in anger. And I'm talking about the leaders right now. I'm not talking about the people, although a lot of the people are stuck as well. But the leaders, okay, I'm just going to say it. The leaders have to pull their heads out of their asses and start coming from a place of love. And that's going to continue to take a while, because we've got egos running all over the place. So that's my, Michael, I always hold on to, it's going to work out okay. It's going to work out. But Talia lately, for months, turning on the 5:30 news, it's like you have to have a lot of courage just to go and turn on the news. And then you have
I
to have
won't do it.
a lot of optimism just not to get sunk down deep into the news. So it's a challenging world for sure, but it is where we come to grow, where our souls come to grow, and eventually get to that place where we can see everything from God's perspective, not our limited human perspective.
And that's kind of leading into the next question, which will either be Nikki or Michael. We'll figure that out. I'm going to do that question in just a second, but here's a reaction to what some of you have just said. Feel what you feel, don't judge. You know, there's a temptation to resist, reject, react to either other people or what already is. You know, there's a great opportunity, though, for your own growth and expansion to allow more. And finally, I got a great definition from an angel once named Dale, who gave this definition of compassion. I think there's a trillion definitions of compassion. Compassion is just being and trusting the outcome to be of the highest intent for all, which I feel like is what Echo was just saying. The next question, though, is, can you give us a universal perspective? Another one of these small, inconsequential questions, but how do you view the universe? Echo kind of hinted at it, that a lot of people have referred to Earth as an Earth school. You're here to, not necessarily get something done, but to have different experiences. Do you view it as many, many lifetimes? This is not your first rodeo, or however it's said appropriately. Have you done stints elsewhere and now it's Earth? Can anyone volunteer their universal galactic perspective? It may be, hey, no, it's just what I can feel and see in this lifetime, or it might be broader. There's a lot of people who go very broad on this question. Michael, Nikki, do you want to start us off? How do you view
Well,
this?
I'm not very broad, so I'll let Michael take over.
If you ask me what I think this place is, I think this place is like dumb school. I think this place is where people that like got a bad ticket and they had to come back and relearn to drive. And there's different degrees. Like there's some people that are more advanced, like really smart. Maybe they just made a mistake, but they had to come back here to kind of learn some emotional things. I think it's a very basic. I mean, look what we do to each other. We're barbarians. We treat each other terribly. The racism and the murder and the hatred and all that kind of stuff. This is like a very fundamental planet where a lot of people that maybe are more evolved don't really belong here, but have to learn they didn't get a basic lesson about either love or understanding or being more godlike. I do. I think that this place is like dumb school. And then when you figure it out, then you graduate, then you go. I don't think it's that most evolved. I do think there's some really evolved people here, but we're all in the same boat. If we are here to learn a lesson. There is nobody better or somebody that's higher up or has some sort of better knowledge. I mean, they may have some more expertise in a certain area, but they're obviously here to learn something. Like if you look at all the people that have done some amazing things, they've had huge holes in their other part of their life that they didn't learn, that they still needed to figure. Gandhi, for the love of God, he still had a whole bunch of things to learn. But I think this planet is a basic planet where you're supposed to learn to be more godlike. And it's a tough planet. It's a hard planet. It's really, really hard. I think people here suck in a lot of ways because we're all trying to figure it out. And some of us just choose to go dark. But there's a lot of enlightened people. And I really think that if they understood that maybe, we are all here in the same boat trying to figure out what we need to figure out, and that we'd be a little nicer to each other. But, a lot of us take sides or a lot of pick groups and just kind of muck it up. But I really do think it's like dumb school.
I've got a follow-up question for Michael. If everything's, supposed to be growth, learning never stops, your expansion never stops. There's always more higher vibrations of love, compassion, or again, openness. What personally can you share on the show in the last 6 months, year, 3 years? Have you found yourself appreciating more, opening up to, that maybe a decade ago it just wasn't going to happen? You weren't even there.
About myself?
Yep, on your personal path.
Just how stupid I am. Just how much I have to learn. Just how much I haven't picked up on some of the cues, that maybe I might be wrong about some stuff, that maybe I'm still here, and I've had many opportunities to leave, and I probably should have, but I'm still here, so I must be here to learn some some stuff. And what is it that I'm not learning? And um, what am I not? What am I not picking up, as opposed to just kind of relaxing and just going through life? What am I not learning?
I love it.
So that's kind of hit me lately.
Nikki, do dogs speak like third graders to you? Do you hear them directly, or do you just feel the vibe of a dog?
I feel the vibe of a dog. My dog just yesterday, hard to explain, but she was at the door and she looked up where her leash was hanging, telling me she wanted to go for a walk.
It's really
And
cool.
that was really cool. You kind of had to be there kind of thing. But yeah, no, for
So-
me, I kind of feel what she's saying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Echo, to you about pets, dogs. Have you heard them like, third, fourth graders just saying, I love you, mommy, I love you, mommy, or is it indirect? Which way do you roll with dogs?
Oh, God. Dogs.
And
Yeah, I do.
careful on your answer. You might be getting hundreds of phone calls and emails after this answer with tons of
Yeah.
pet owners. So
No.
sensitive.
My dog, I mean, he and I had really good communication, and even my
You got a
cat.
dog, sis?
No, honey, when I had Jessie.
Oh, back in 32. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We had great communication, and also with my cat. I mean, she sends me a thought,
Jessie.
I get it, and then I know what she needs. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Echo, can you talk about, let me jump to a completely tangential topic, but maybe not. There's a lot of UAP, UFO disclosure efforts. It's a thinking crowd for the most part. If you go on social media, you're not going to see compassion, love, mankind's consciousness, maybe a little bit of awareness, which I think what Michael's referring to is awareness is still on the horizon for mankind, but it's coming, it's here if people want to pay attention. Do you have a way to talk about the cosmos, the universe? Are humans the only beings in the game, the great casino in the sky?
No,
Okay.
no.
How do you usually handle it while still balancing, religious obligations or a religious worldview or universe view? Is there a nice way that you have that you can say it's a big melting pot? Are there a lot of other beings out there trying to help us out for our awareness, our consciousness, and so on?
Yeah, there are, but I don't. Whatever you just said, honey, I don't really think about that. Like
Yeah,
you're
and
looking.
you don't have to. It's easy,
Like
Okay.
one step at a time in life. Michael, what were you going to say?
when you do readings, though, sis, you've seen aliens, right? I mean, like
I have.
we'll do spirit guides and stuff, and sometimes spirit guides aren't like from this planet. They look like a whole different species, and
Yeah.
that started happening way long ago. So I'm kind of used to that. It seems like there's a
Yeah.
lot of aliens around, that are just like here because they have to go to dum-dum school and they have to pick up some stuff that they didn't pick up, and
Yeah, honey.
and they're all over the place. It's hard to imagine that this is, of course, this isn't just the only place with life, but
Yeah.
but I do think there's a lot of aliens. I mean, there's a lot of, you can look at somebody and go, holy crap, that person's not from this town,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's pretty common, I think.
I'm going to mention in 12, 13 years of doing this and helping people have a direct experience, you'd like to rest on your laurels and just keep everything exactly the same, but angels started volunteering deeper backgrounds. I'll take 10 seconds on this and go back to angels in a second in a normal way. But a Charlotte said, hey, I've got an Orion background. A Dale said, I've got an Andromeda background. And these are angels. Archangel Michael, I got a little definition, just very broad across the whole cosmos. So there's no definition of one place. But my guardian angel, she said serious, not trying to be too serious here. And again, people are seeing those figures in other ways. But unconditional love, safe and loving, sort of like that Green Lantern movie with Ryan Reynolds, where you see them all wearing the same uniform, but they're all different shapes, sizes, colors, makeup from all over, trying to do the right thing, love. So back to that, can you talk to us about your healing business? Is there a particular part of each of your healing practices that's unique in terms of a new service, something you're excited to explore, or something people should definitely consider when they're looking you up? Michael, I know you're pretty particular. Can you share with us, is there some aspect of what you offer now that's sort of different, new?
I'm as dull as can be. You mean like free soap with a reading kind of thing?
Do you help
Um,
anybody? Have you started to consider helping people develop their own? I know you say you don't have the patience for it, but have you ever taken anybody under your wing for a little
Yeah,
bit?
I do. I do.
Okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. It's to me, it's like a natural thing. Um, I run a lot of people seem to want to follow a messiah. They always seem to want to have somebody tell them what to do. And that's what bothers me about that is that people are always looking up when they have stuff. Um, there's some things I can teach people, but they also teach me. So I don't like that whole idea. I just don't like it when people like follow me.
Put
It
you on
sounds terrible. You what?
a pedestal?
Yeah, yeah. You just don't want that. You just want it to be kind of a sharing of information kind of stuff. But I do that all the time. I just don't. It's not as form. When I have done that, it's just that people start to rely more on me as opposed to their own abilities, and it kind of defeats the purpose, you know. And so it's when I do it, I just do it kind of in a very subtle way. Interject things with what the person's doing, support what they're doing, maybe offer a different idea of than what they're doing, you know, just explain things in a different way, give them a different point of view without it being about me, but about what they're doing kind of thing.
I love
Still
it.
has the patience to teach people, but I just, yeah.
Yeah, you're supporting their
And
own
they all love Echo.
inner authentic
Right.
power.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what seems to be the key. It's not about me, it's about what they're learning. And also it reminds me of stuff. You know, I've forgotten so much stuff through the years, really good stuff. And I've forgotten a lot of it. And so when I run across somebody that's just kind of discovering things again, it reminds me of when I was discovering stuff. So it helps me appreciate things a little bit more. But yeah, it's really not supposed to be about it's supposed to be me about supporting them and pointing out things to them.
Nikki, you've got an incredible ability with tarot cards, but could you assign percentages to what percentage is actually you, complete intuition, getting kind of a mini download, whatever you want to call it, when you've got the cards coming out, but there's a real intuitive reading behind the cards? Is it 80% intuition, 20% the card? Do you have a way you could do the percentages, just even if we're not going to hold you to it a week from now? I think for me personally, you offered a reading out of the blue that, I mean, I was like, wow, I loved it. I've saved it, and it was spot on. And again, it caught me off guard. You really good with what you do there. But how do you describe it? This is putting a spotlight on you. You're in a pinch now, a pickle, a bind on air. What percentage do you want to say it's pure talent versus the cards coming up?
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Michael. I would say the cards are at least 80% because they do guide people. And then I am starting to hear from spirit guides a lot stronger, the person's spirit guides, which I think is really validating because I think people really need to know they have spirit guides because it helps you realize there's help on the other side, that there's a God, there's a universe. And I've been getting more validation from their spirit guides that help people realize, oh, I do have spirit guides. And so the cards, again, are like 80%, and I would say 20% are my guides and angels and intuition. But lately, I've been getting deeper in with spirit guides.
I love it. And hey, I'm enthusiasm. Everyone's got to take me with a grain of salt, but I'd switch those percentages for Nikki in a heartbeat because I think she's total talent. And I think the cards are just helping her feel comfortable with it.
Thank you.
Next question for you all is whether it's a guardian angel, your guardian angel, someone else's guardian angel, a guide, human guide, passed over loved one, Gandhi, anybody, and it's all open here. Can you share one particular moment? Either you were helping someone else with a reading, you were just trekking in Shangri-La, it was Bali, it was Peru, and you met your guardian angel, or it was a human stranger, but they had sparkly eyes. They said just what you needed to hear at that point in life. When you turn back on the trail, there was nowhere for them to go. They're gone. Can you share one of those crazy, absolutely has stuck with you moments? This shouldn't be a head scratcher where you know something happened, that it was love and it was helpful. But again, it could have been in a reading and it was that one person's guardian angel. They were the funniest person you've ever met. You're still laughing about it today. They made your job a lot easier. What was a moment? Who wants to go first? Echo?
I'll go first.
Nikki.
Okay, I just had one a month ago. A young gal came to me and she was having a really hard time. And I was talking to her spirit guides, which I always do. But this one spirit guide said that she'll be rollerblading. And spirit guides usually don't talk like that. And I said, well, your spirit guide says she's going to be rollerblading. And this young gal said she just bought rollerblades the day before. And so to me, that was like, oh, how sweet. You know, her spirit guide told her, you know, I'm with you. I see you bought rollerblades. And that even touched my heart because it's like, wow, that's really cool.
I love it. Okay, who's next? Michael or Echo?
Well, I had a really cool experience. Oh my God, I still can't get over it. Okay, so this was a couple of years ago, and I was really stressed that day, and I had to go to this floral store here in Minneapolis. And so I went over there and I was just, oh, God, like that. And I looked around. It's like, is there any help? I need help. And this man just all of a sudden he's there, and he was the most handsome man I have ever seen in my entire life. It was like, oh my God. And he said, do you need help? And I said, I do. I'm looking for this thing and I can't find it. And he said, well, I'll show you where it is. And so I'm following him and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm in love. This guy's gorgeous. And he was so sweet. And he took me to this area and I said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And he said, can I help you with anything else? And my mind's going crazy. And I said, no, thank you so much. I feel better just even finding this. Okay. And he walked away. So, okay. So I'm walking out and I thought, oh my God, I've got to take his picture. I'm going to tell him that I want to take his picture. He's gorgeous. So I go back. I can't find him anywhere. So I go up to the store, the lady at the counter, and I said, okay, there's this man and he looks like this and he had on this. And she said, we don't have anybody like that here. And I said, wait, no, he was just here like 2 minutes ago. He was just here. She said, well, hold on. So she calls somebody, hey, is there a guy here that blah, 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 blah. No, we don't have anybody like that here. So I went through the whole entire store. I thought, no, I'm going to find this guy. I went in the back room. I went everywhere. Never saw him again. So to me, that was an angel. Because just even him being there just completely calmed me down. It was really, and I've never forgotten it. It's like, wow, that had to be an angel. So there's my angel story. Michael, have you got an angel story?
I don't know if it's an angel. If it's an angel story, it was almost 2:00 and I had a phone reading at 2:00 and I was really in a hurry. And I was running late as usual. And one of my guides said, tell him Rob, his buddy, is okay. And he'll come to him in a little bit. I said, what? And he said, just tell him Rob is going to be okay. I thought it was Rob. It might've been Bob. I don't know. It was either Rob or Bob is okay. And that he'll come to him in a little bit. And I said, what are you talking about? And a guy came to the door. He was looking at my roof to, one of those insurance guys, like, hey, you got hail damage. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm really in a hurry. I gotta work here in a little bit. I don't know if it's your buddy Rob or Bob. I don't know which one. He's okay, and he's gonna he's going to come and visit you. And the guy turned just white. He goes, Bob? And I said, it's either that or Rob. I don't know. Look, buddy, I got to go. I got to go because I got to work here, but it's either Rob or Bob, but he's going to be okay. And he's going to come talk to you. And he says, okay. And he just stood at my door for like, I don't know. I shut the door and my dogs were going crazy and they wouldn't stop barking because he wouldn't leave. Just sat there. And then as he was walking, I saw him just kind of brush tears out of his eyes as he was walking, and he walked to his car and he just sat in his car. So it wasn't a big moment, but
Could have been.
And yeah, but he was visibly shaken and just,
Wow.
it was one of those kind of like, just get it done. And apparently they just needed to tell him that, but he wasn't listening. And I wasn't in the mood to sit and talk to him about the whole Bob thing. I
Yeah,
didn't want to know about it.
Yeah.
But he went from, hey there, I'm Bob, and I'm here to like, like his whole expression just changed, and
Yeah.
he
Wow.
just couldn't move. And so it bugged me too, because my pups are loud and they wouldn't stop barking. And then the lady called for the reading, and so I had to go outside. And, but I could still, he was visibly shaken by whatever that meant to him.
We've reached that point in the show where I'm going to light some sage, blow it to you. Folks who have watched the show before, have watched guests, catch the scent of sage smoke wherever they are. Lorna Byrne, the Irish angel mystic in Ireland, said, Mike, I'm not smelling sage, but I am smelling daisies and roses. I was like, oh, thank God. Jennifer McLean, the 35-year healer in, I can't pronounce the place where she lives in California, Laguna Niguel, maybe. She caught
I love
sage.
Laguna Niguel.
Yeah, she caught sage and 3 types of flowers. So good for her. It's whatever a person will allow for. Let me give my only rule or structure. It's just setting your intent. It's I'm gonna look like an idiot. It's only been 12 years of this. Oh, ask angels to make it nice. Angels, get me out of my head, into my heart. Help me smell some sage in Australia, Germany, and it's 2030. So time isn't a factor here. You're watching this 6 years in the future. I got to light it first. If you're hyper intuitive, you might start tasting it or smelling it when I light it. No smoke yet. Let the sage be sage. If you were sore at home from gardening yesterday, ask angels to make it nice and get a little soreness out of you, whatever's not written. And if you want to go crazy, ask for flowers that you haven't had in a long time to come in. Ask angels, your mom, ancestors, anybody to bring it to you. You want to go super wild, go for the trifecta. Ask for ocean smell, Bali, Bethany Beach, Rehoboth, Seychelles, Azores, wherever is your cool spot. And each of you are going to get asked if you're getting anything, but of course you're going to get one dad joke, because if you're laughing, you know you're letting go. Where in a hospital is the worst place to play hide and seek? Where? Answer, in the ICU. Okay, Nikki, are you catching any sage?
Oh, God.
I know, Echo, I'm sorry. You've heard more jokes from me. I apologize.
Yeah,
Between the panel,
yes.
you're getting sage. Are you getting any flowers? And can you have Angel's mom come in and give you something extra? You don't have to share it out loud, but just something to say thank you for coming on the program.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Whoa. And now, Echo, are you catching a little bit of sage?
Honey, you know what? I'm not, because I've got some very strong smelling candles going.
Okay,
So, yeah.
no worries. And Michael, you're getting one more dad joke. Bert and Ernie, Sesame Street. You don't have to remember who's who. Bert offers Ernie ice cream. What's Ernie say? Answer, Sherbert.
Okay.
Hey, I have put my neck out there to do that voice. Here's a little bit of sage.
Oh,
Oh yeah, exactly. Sure, Bert. Okay. Are you getting any sage, Michael, at all?
I have sage all over, so I don't know if it's your sage or my sage, but I have sage all over the place. So I'm smelling sage, but I'm not sure if it's yours. But yeah, I got
No
sage.
worries.
Yeah, there's sage.
No worries. And just to touch upon the angels for 1 second, I'll put 3 photos up. One of Michael, one of Gabriel, one of Joy. Again, in a panic 12 years ago, I took photos. I help people see directly. The photos don't matter, even though they can move and so on. Here's Michael, Gabriel, and Joy. If anybody wants to catch the smell of flowers, or let's make it different, sweetgrass, juniper, cedar, pine, tobacco, or something really pleasant. Catch something in the air, hear an answer, Just feel general sparkle or warmth. Is anybody picking up on anything from any angels at all? As long as we get one person to get something, flowers, a hug, goosebumps, we'll check that box for the show. Sometimes we go crazy on the show and do a little more. Anybody, anything?
Go ahead, sisses.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah,
I know, I
Come on.
know.
that's
I'm
what the
not-
hell. You got goosebumps.
I'm not sure yet here.
Boy, I don't know what to tell you. I might be a little jaded.
Oh, no, that's okay. Jaded is okay. Welcome to, every state of man. Here, Nikki, are your eyes closed or open?
Yeah, they're open. I
Yeah,
think
it's hard to tell, sis.
yeah, Joy talks to me really big because my
Oh.
life is so joyful.
Okay. So what do you got, Nikki? You're the one today. You're on the hot seat. This is now a game
Come on,
show.
Joy.
What are you getting from Joy?
Just that you deserve it and it's okay to have it, damn it.
I love it. You check the box for your siblings, so they don't have to do anything else now. We're going to go around the bases a couple more times. A few final questions. What would you like to share that's important for people to remember daily? And I'll give a couple keywords. Positivity, love, kindness, attention, compassion, appreciation, gratitude. And I'll add one more zany one that's my style. Remember to remember, if you can remember, when you remember to remember. Good luck with any of that. Thinking kicks in all the time, blocking love, but you can be here anytime you want. Which one of you wants to run with something about this? What's a final reminder for folks living their lives, trying to be the best they can be, and discovering their unique life path? Who, Echo?
Listen to your intuition.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Michael.
You know what the biggest thing for me is, people seem to forget, is that they're not alone, that they have a lot of support on the other side, that, I mean, they're constantly with them. And if people tap into that, they can get the answers for themselves. They don't necessarily need to talk to a psychic or anybody else. They actually have their own entourage with them. It's just taking the patience and talking to them and getting the info. I mean, it's all right there. It's like, we've got all the tools. We just have to tap into them if we're willing to do that. And that's the biggest thing to me, is just knowing how protected people are and how they're not alone, that they have these great, amazing, loving beings around them all the time. And they have to just tap into them and just calm Rick down and get some answers. That's what I think is interesting.
I love that. Nikki.
Well, what I think people need to realize is that, a lot of people think gloom and doom, the shoe's going to drop, something bad's going to happen. And it took me years to realize that that's not necessarily true, that life is supposed to be good and joyful and happy. And so for me, I had to learn that even right now, when my life is fantastic, I still get in this fear, well, what's going to happen? Something bad's got to happen. And I think we all need to tap into, no, necessarily not bad things have to happen. Your life can actually be really, really good all the time. And that's what I'm experiencing right now.
Cool.
Okay. Lightning round.
Yeah, you're in love.
Yeah, that helps.
I'm going to read just a couple quotes from some famous folks. It could be Winnie the Pooh, Einstein, Wayne Dyer. It could be Eckhart Tolle. It could be from angels. Who knows? But anybody wants to put their hand up on this one and react to the quote, because either you got inspired, you're like, oh yeah, I'd love to talk about this, or you want to address the quote directly. I'm going to put 2 to 5 quotes out. We'll see. First, I got to do Winnie the Pooh. Some people talk to animals. Not many listen, though. That's the problem. And I'll add, I love that. I'll add, that's also the opportunity for all of us to slow the roll and do a little more listening, stuff like that. Okay, next quote. People are afraid of what's inside, and that's the only place they're ever going to find what they need. And I think Michael was just talking about that, but that's the actor Nick Nolte in the movie Peaceful Warrior, playing the character Socrates. People are afraid of what's inside, and that's the only place they're ever going to find what they need. And last quote to just consider, Abraham Hicks, Emotion is the business of life. Words do not teach. Receiving of energy accomplishes everything and anything. Could you address one of those, or just be inspired and take us in a different direction? Who wants to run with this a little bit?
Oh, I like Socrates. How can you not like Socrates? And I totally agree with all that. It's that once you kind of deal with the fear of being wrong or making a mistake or making a fool out of yourself, once you're actually okay with all that stuff, it opens up everything. You know, you can really do some really interesting things if you trust that little voice, you know, and it tells you to go do something and you actually do it. It's like it opens up all these amazing doors. And yeah, sometimes you do make a fool out of yourself and you do make mistakes, but it's so worth it to just go down that and see what kind of doors open. I mean, it's amazing. And I see it all the time with people.
Echo,
Yes, sir.
what's your reaction to any of that? Just, doing more listening, trusting the inner voice. I mean, this is the name of your book. Again, A Still Small Voice. Let's plug one of your most famous books out of numerous.
Okay, definitely. I thought that was so cute when you first mentioned Winnie the Pooh about listening to animals, and then was it Michael's dog or Nikki's dog that started barking? That
My
was
dog,
that was so cute.
Dante.
I mean, they've been quiet the whole hour, and then when we mentioned animals, they started barking. I thought that was adorable. So yeah, listen to the animals, listen to your inner voice. Stop talking and listen. Yeah, there. That's my wisdom for the day.
And Nikki, when we're wrapping it up after this, we'll do one last round. Nikki, what do you got for us?
Oh, God, nothing. I
Go with Pooh, sis. Go with Pooh.
can't, oh, Jesus. Yeah, you,
What was that again, honey? I didn't catch that. Sorry.
All right,
You know
I'm
Socrates, is that the
stalling
one?
for Nikki. I'm going to read some more quotes, and then this is
Yeah.
it. We're wrapping it up. We're signing
yeah.
off.
Thank
Okay,
you, Mike.
Eckhart Tolle said, ego implies unawareness. Awareness and ego cannot coexist. And Wayne Dyer said it differently. You can't take a hot shower and be upset. And that's assuming you like hot showers. Now, a couple more quotes. Positivity is abundance. Learn to take life really one moment at a time. And then I'll just throw out some keywords: be, breathe, allow, let go, have fun, smile, laugh, unbridled enthusiasm, compassion, love, universal kindness. Who wants to roll with a final uplifting message to the audience, a reminder about whatever? Nikki, you're on the spot. We're going to straight to you.
Well,
Perfect, sis.
I really think Echo should end with this.
Oh my God, sis, you got the mic.
Well,
is what you
no,
got.
she's going last. You're going now,
No,
then Michael, and then Echo.
no,
Give us a last reminder of humanity.
I'm on the spot. I can't think when I'm on the spot.
Okay, what's your favorite movie, either personally or more of a spiritual learning, something?
Come
any
on, sis, think.
Come on.
favorite author? Can't be-
Author, come on.
Okay, I love Wayne Dyer. I watch him. He's fantastic. That's what I got.
Perfect. You're off the hook, Nikki. Okay,
Thank you.
Michael, what do you got for us? Either, what's ahead for each of us on our path if we just pay attention a little more? What's your advice for us all?
If I had to give advice, it would be that there's your way and their way. And if you trusted their way, if you if you have a feeling about doing something, but you're not sure because you think you're going to make a fool out of yourself, you're going to do this, that, just do it and see what happens. Just try it once. Just watch how it just opens up all sorts of doors to do this and do that and do this and do that. It's amazing. Just try it once. You don't have to live your life like that. You don't have to start wearing sandals and not taking showers. You can just try taking a chance one time at listening and trusting your intuition and see what happens. I'm telling you.
Amen.
Brilliant. And now that was a perfect lead into your sister. It's like you're a volleyball team. You just put the ball up for her to spike and close out the show. Echo, you're now on the Sandy volleyball, set here.
Yes. Okay.
Come on, spike it, sis.
Spike it. Listen, that's the best advice anybody can give. Listen to the voice inside. Forget about the voice up here that's full of fear and doubt and anger and memories that'll keep you stuck. It's like, go down here, learn how to go down here and get the guidance down here. And then you'll start to experience all the words that Michael Ford just mentioned 1 minute ago.
Ah, you're too kind.
Yeah.
Yes. Look, all of you have been fantastic. We've got Nikki, Echo, and Michael Bodine, Bodine siblings. You guys have done events together. You have your own websites, add.com to it. It'll be in the details below the video. Folks, be sure to write the little part of this show has resonated with you. Put it as a comment, share, subscribe, and what am I missing? Hit the notifications button as well. Each of these folks have a fantastic website with a lot of services. With Michael, be sure you sound determined. Make sure you are saying you absolutely want him to do your reading, so you're selected. Thank you all very much for being guests on Angels, Positivity, and Love. I've loved having you here.
Good.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Michael.
Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of the year, everybody. Have fun.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.